I finally built my first iPhone app. For years, I've been telling myself exactly the same thing. One day, I'm gonna build my own products. Every year, I'd have a new idea. I'd start working on something, but then never finish it. Until one phone call from an old friend changed everything. 6 weeks later, we had an iPhone app on the App Store. Tattoo artists around the world were downloading it, and complete strangers were paying for something I built. I've been a software engineer for the last 2 decades. Every day, I build applications from someone else, and I genuinely enjoy it. But I always had on the back of my mind the idea of building my own products, something that was mine. The funny thing is that I wasn't trying to become a millionaire. I wanted to prove myself that I was able to pick an idea and actually finish it. Oscar and I met over 20 years ago. We both danced breakdance. I was just a teenager and he already was incredibly good. And life happened. We went our separate ways. I became a software engineer and he became a tattoo artist, a really good one. Then one day he called me. He had an idea for an app. When tattoo artists create large tattoos, they need first to print what is called a stencil. And if the stencil is bigger than a sheet of paper, it becomes surprisingly annoying. Suddenly, they need to move away from their iPad to their laptop, open Illustrator, start resizing the stencil, slicing it up, printing several times until they'll find the right size. It becomes surprisingly time-consuming. And that is a problem that we could solve. Oscar wanted to happen all that in one single place. There was just one small problem. I've never in my life built an iPhone app before. Normally, this will be the time where I start watching video tutorial, learning the new technologies, starting very excited and eventually getting a bit overwhelmed and not finishing it. But this time was different. Instead, this time I only learned exactly what I needed for this project. I started having a lot of conversations to ChatGPT to define the MVP, the minimum viable product that I needed. And with that, I started working immediately that very same day. A few hours later, I had a very small prototype, but was enough to prove myself I could have something working. That completely changed my motivation. It wasn't just an idea anymore. It was something that was working. Building the app, honestly, wasn't the hardest part. The hardest part was actually doing all the paperwork, all the bureaucracy that is required. Tax forms, agreements, permissions, the waiting time. Actually, when we were almost there, the Apple Store rejected our apps and our motivation took a hit, but we overcome it. And my favorite part, we launched the app everywhere in the world except Europe, which is actually where we wanted to sell it, because we had to wait from some extra permissions. Eventually, everything was ready. Oscar uploaded an Instagram story and we waited. If you never released an app before, you must know that the Apple Store doesn't tell you immediately when someone buys your app. So we spent the very first days refreshing the dashboard all the time. And then 2 sales happened. I still remember the feeling. This wasn't friends or family trying to support us. This was 2 complete strangers that were paying for something we built. A few days later, we started receiving messages from tattoo artists telling us that the app was really useful and they were saving tons of time. Then is when it really clicked. I used to think that building products was difficult. Normally, that's not the problem. They are just logistics. You only need to focus on the next problem ahead of you. Fix that one, and when the new one comes, just fix the following one, and eventually you will get to your destination. It also reminded me that people will find ways to use your product that you didn't even imagine. We had some messages of people telling us that they use it in ways that we never thought that are actually useful, and maybe the biggest lesson is that shipping something small is infinitely better than keep planning something big that you never release. This app is not gonna change the world, but it changed something for me. For years, I wanted to build products again, and Slice was proof that I could. I am still working in a full-time job. I'm not near where I want to be, and I still have to figure it out many things. But from now on, I'm gonna keep building. I'm gonna keep sharing the wins and the mistakes and everything I learn along the way. If you are in a similar journey, I would love to have you here. See you in the next one.